Okay, this is an equation that allows you to set up a sequence like we were doing yesterday. You know, we had a number and a number and a number, and then we had to decide the next numbers because of the pattern that it was going in. Maybe the first one was multiplied by 3, was multiplied by 3, was multiplied by 3. Okay, this is the pattern that is going to give us a sequence. All right. Now, the N stands for the place in the sequence. This is what place in the sequence. And that's pretty much all you need to know. Okay? So what we're going to do is set up a sequence according to what the rule is right here. So the place in the sequence means if I want the first number in the sequence, the first number, then it says, okay, the first number is going to be equal to n squared minus 1. Okay, n squared minus 1. So we're going to start a sequence right here. These 3 dots mean it continues on in a positive direction, okay? So if I wanted to get the first, I want to figure out what the first one is in this sequence, then this says it's the first item in the sequence. I would have to figure it out. This n and this n are the same thing. So first, so I'm going to put 1 squared minus 1. That's 1 minus 1. So the first in the sequence is going to be 0. Y'all see? Let's keep going. Now I want to find the second one. I want to find what goes in the second place. And so where the n is, this n I said in the second place. So it said use that n. Now it's 2 squared is 4. Minus 1 is 3. So that's my second one. Okay, let's do the third one. What do y'all think the third in this sequence will be according to the rule?
4.
No,
Put the 3 here.
it's 5.
8.
Put the 3 there.
So,
8.
Yes, 8. Let's do it. If I want the third item, that means I put a 3 right here. What's 3 squared? 3 squared.
9.
You're doing 3 times 2.
9.
9 minus 1. You were doing 6, and that's where you got 5, and I knew that. I just had to keep asking you. 3 squared is 9 minus 1 is this 8. Let's do the fourth one since this is the first time you've done this. The fourth term is going to be, come on, Jesus.
15.
You're like somewhere. Pay attention. What's 4 squared? Come on.
12.
4 squared. That means 4 times 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is 16 minus 1, 15. Is everybody getting this? Now, the cool thing about this, we could keep on going. We could put a 5 here. We could put a 6 here. But what if the problem said, okay, here's the series. I need you to tell me what the 15th item is in the series. You don't have to make all these and do each one of them up till the 15th. You can just say, I need to know what the 15th term is. Since n is 15, we put that in here. So 15 squared is 225 minus 1. So the 15th term
That's 224.
would be 224. Y'all see? Yeah, I'm seeing.
Yeah, I see
Can't
that.
tell about the faces. What about you guys online? Shaniqua, are you okay with
ma'am.
this?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry you can't hear me. I'm talking.
I can. Did
Oh,
you,
okay.
were you talking to me earlier though?
No, I'm
Sometimes
sitting
when I'm at the board, I've got the fan on and sometimes I don't hear y'all. Were you saying anything else to me?
sitting there talking to myself, working the problem out of my head.
Oh, then we're good.
Okay.
Okay, tell me what this term is right here. Okay, what? First of all, we've got to know what term that is in the series. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th one. Put it up or give it to me. Pardon?
So it's A7 equals 17.
48.
That would
Not
be-
17. What is this?
Oh, 7, I'm sorry.
7 squared
7
is
squared.
49.
49. Okay, I'm hearing y'all
Minus one would
online
be
too.
48.
So this one would be 48. Do y'all see that you don't have to do every one of them because we could even do this one. We could say, what is the 20th? What's the 20th term?
399.
I heard something. Say it again.
399.
199?
399.
You are correct. You're correct. 399. Because 20 squared is 400, and we're going to subtract 1. Y'all see? Is it getting better? Okay, let's choose another one off of that same page and see how that works. Now it says for all n's are greater than equal to 1. So what they're telling you, don't try to find it for a negative number. Like I don't want to put -1 in there. It
Thank
says only use 1 and above. All right. Anybody see one on that page that you'd like to work that looks scary? Number 3.
Those don't look scary at all.
Of course, it has fractions. Okay. So our rule that we're going to go by, it says any of the terms will be figured out by this. 7/3, get your calculators out, minus 6/5 times n plus 1. Again, it says for all n greater than or equal to 1, so they want positive numbers. Positive numbers. So let's find the first term. Use your calculator. I probably ought to get one myself. All right. So here's our rule. And if I want the first term, then I'm going to say the first term is equal to 7/3 minus 6/5 times 1 plus 1. Because if I want the first term, then this is going to be 1.
32/15.
So what?
32/15.
Maybe. I don't know.
For
You're going to have to do this multiply first. And you have to do what's in the parentheses. So that's 2. So we have 6/5 times 2, right?
Yeah.
So 6/5 times 2 is 12 fifths.
4, 5.
If you want to do it by hand, you would need to find common denominators,
Mm-hmm.
which would be
15.
35 over 15 minus 84 over, no, 36. Over 15. So the first one should be a negative 1 over 15, but let's check that because I did everything in my head and that's scary. Negative 1
Why
over
did we have
15.
to do the 6/5 first?
Because when we did, I don't think you were here, my dear.
Aunt Sally.
So I have to do parentheses first. Well, I have to do that. That's how I got the 2. I did the parentheses first and got a 2. Then I don't have any exponents. Then multiply or divide comes next. So the first thing I come to is the multiply. See, there's a subtract and a multiply, so I have to do this first. It's this order that you have to do it in.
Okay.
Then you subtract. Now, if you did this in your calculator, you still should have gotten an answer of negative 1 over 15. You want to try it again? You should be able, if you're using a calculator, to do this whole thing in the calculator. Put it all in there. Were you able to do that, Mary? Put the whole thing in there? No? Let me see if it works. So I have 7/3, scoot over, minus 6/5, scoot over, parentheses, 1 plus 1, close parentheses. I was able to do that in your calculator, okay? Yes, ma'am.
So why did the n become a 1? Is this always good? That's what it is?
So why did n become a 1? Is that what you said? Because I said, here's a whole series, but I wanted the first. This is the first one, this is the second, this is the third in the series.
Mhm.
And so the n is the place in the series.
So whichever spot they're asking for is the number you put.
Yes, yes, that's exactly right. So if I wanted this one now and skip the others, then I would put 4 here and 4 here. Let's do that. Let's find the 4th one in that series. Of course, you all will be finding them all. So I want to find the 4th item in the series. 7/3 minus 6/5 times 4 plus 1. Now, if you did this in the calculator, this is 5, and you have to do this multiplication. So that's going to be 6. So you have 7/3 minus 6. So it's going to be like 7/3 minus 18/3. It's a negative 11/3. And again, you either find common denominators or use your calculator and it should come out. Negative 11/3 is the 4th item in this sequence. You just use the rule. Yes. You use the rule over and over again, and n is the place in this series. Now, I want to tell you that right now, everything that we're doing, all the series that we're doing, I better not say that. There are 2 different types of series. There's an arithmetic or arithmetic series. I was going to say it very proper. but there's an arithmetic series and there's a geometric series. Okay. The arithmetic is the plussing and the minusing. The geometric is where we start to multiply stuff. So do you think you guys can handle this page? You do the rule over and over again, and whatever position you want, that's what n is. Now it looks like every time you need to find 5 in the series. You need to do it 5 times and then use a comma and dots that say that series will continue on and on. I'm just not going to do anymore. Okay, so make sure you do 5 pieces in that series. All right, and that finishes up that packet that we started yesterday on sequences and patterns. And today we're going to start with in and out boxes. These will turn out to be quite easy. This will remind you, and it should remind you, of the T-charts that we've used before. Our X and Y T-charts when we were graphing lines. Remember, we had the T-charts that had X and Y, and we could decide anything we wanted for the X, and then we had a rule like 2x plus 1 equals y, and we had to figure out what went in y. Do y'all kind of remember that? Okay, this is on a more beginning level that you're going to be doing today. We're going to say, if these are the numbers that I'm given, I want to know what the answer is going to be, which is exactly the same. Now on this number 1, it says the rule. They don't give you a whole equation. They just say divide by 2. And then they give you all the n values. They said 10, 24, 30, 46, and 60. And they're simply telling you the way you get the out values is to divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 30 divided by 2, 15. 46 divided by 2, 23. 60 divided by 2. And this is all we're going to do right now. Y'all see? It tells you whatever rule you're going to be doing. Fill out the in and out boxes. This is a prelude to X and Y T-charts. So on page 1 and page 2 of the in and out boxes, this is what you're going to be doing. Now on page 3, they give you everything in the box, but you have to come up with the rule. So,
Okay.
40, 65, no, 55.
That divided by 5.
Good job. I thought you were asleep. And they want to know, what was the rule? What happened to this to give you this answer? What happened here will give you this answer. And I heard Jesus here in the class, and I heard you online also.
You divide
took
by
the
5.
10. Yes, I'm hearing y'all. You divided by 5. Now the rule has to work on every piece to be a rule. And sure enough, it does. Every time I divided by, and you can just say the rule is to divide by 5. Okay, you're going to have to come up with the rule. Whatever happened on the inside, IN, to get to the answer on the out. Then, okay, that's on the next 2 pages. Now look at page 5. Now page 5, they gave you the rule, but some of the stuff, they gave you the in column. Some of them you gave the out column. Okay. So let's do just one of those. Page 5, yes. So on this one, they have 5 over here, 7 and 9, but then they have 70 over here and 91. Now they did give you the rule. They said the rule is divide by 7.
So that would be.
So down
10.
here is easy. Divide this by 7, I get 10. Divide this by 7 and I get 1/13, okay? Which is fine, but how do I go this way?
Yeah,
Multiply them.
Yes, because it's still going to be divided by 7, but when you go backwards, you multiply. So we've got 63 here. It's still the rule because 63 divided by 7 will give you 9. But in order to find the first part,
49.
you need to multiply.
35.
Good job. Y'all see?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorta or yes?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I like it. So again, the next page is like that. And what pages did I tell you? Starting with 3 pages with the wrong answers. I'm thinking on page 3 and page 4. Let me see about page 5. No, 5's okay. 3 and 4. Number 7, I'm not so sure it's the right answer. So just put a question mark there. Okay, on page 3 and 4, numbers 7 on those 2 pages. Okay, so it's a relatively easy assignment again, but I want you to understand what's happening on all of these. Just the fact that it is easy, I want you to be aware if you see anything like this on the GED exam. Okay, you gonna make it, Shaniqua?
Yes, ma'am.
So tired. I also told my class before I started the recording that as I looked at the curriculum, you know, the order I'm doing the curriculum in, we just finished graphing lines and working with slope and that type of stuff, and then switched over to patterns and sequences. Now you need all of this stuff that I'm teaching you, but I got to thinking it seems like it's in a weird place in our curriculum series. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out these packets, but then I think I'm going to go back and finish out slope. So if it feels like I'm jumping around in the curriculum, I am. Okay, I just really don't like where I put this subject area. I don't like where it is in the curriculum, but you still need the info. So I'm going to finish out this short section in our curriculum and we will be going back to slope for a little while.
I need to go watch
Questions?
the videos on that.
Say it again.
So I need to go watch videos on that. That's where I got behind at.
Okay, I will let you know where all my videos are until you can find them all. We'll work with you until you find those, and I will also check with the testing person and find out when you need to come for your CASAS test.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
so I will be sending you homework for tomorrow as soon as I figure out what I want to do tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
those of you that want to stay, feel